What's up, guys? Chris with Chef Sports Cards here. We are doing 2020/21 Bowman Draft 2 Jumbo Box Break Mixer number 16. We got 11:57 on the clock. We're starting at midnight, so just hang out for a minute. We'll get rolling. Thanks for joining us tonight. Fletch, always the first man in. I can't believe that guy wasn't there to see his trout get pulled. I love it when people are in, like, watching live when big cards get pulled. Just a Martin. Okay, I'll see what I can find, my friend. See what I can find. Chef it up, baby. I like that. All right. Get some gloves. Josh, how are you, buddy? Thanks for joining us tonight. All right, guys, what is going on? Last break of the evening, we got our 2021 Bowman Draft 2 Jumbo Box break. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name's Chris, and this is Chef Sports Cards. Welcome to the people, especially who have never broken with us before. You're new to the channel. A little bit about us. We've been around for almost 4 years now. We break mostly baseball, with a little bit of everything else mixed in. We ship all cards from every break. We're very generous with the top loading, and we ship as quickly as our little hands will move. Cards from the weekend usually go out on Monday. So if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We do free breaks, and when we do them, we use our subscriber list from YouTube. So if you want a chance to get into one of our future free breaks, all you got to do is hit that button. Be a subscriber, and your name will be in the random. Who knows? Maybe get into one of our future free breaks. You know what? I'm feeling good about the Bengals. I was actually rooting for them, and I felt like they were going to do okay today. I mean, they had to pull it out, obviously, but I like the Bengals a lot. I really do. I'm happy Joe Burrows is doing so well. I really am, because so many of these high draft pick quarterbacks get, don't perform and get thrown on the trash pile. I'm just happy he's doing well. So, and this is coming from an Eagles fan, so not as good as you feel about the Niners. Well, that's true. If you're a Niners fan. Oh yeah, you watched it, John? Yeah, it's something else, isn't it? It's crazy. All right, let's go over the teams. D-backs, Joseph Y. Braves, Aaron C. Orioles, John T. Red Sox, John N. Cubs, Brian C. White Sox, Michael G. Reds, John N. Indians, Ryan K. Rockies, Luke H. Tigers, Joseph Y. Royals, Alex F. Astros, Jason J. Angels, Ryan K. Dodgers, Brett S. Brewers, Matthew S. Twins and Marlins, Marty L. Mets, Adrian S. Yankees, Sylvia D. A's, Michael G. Phillies, Michael S. Pirates, Joseph Y. Cardinals, Dan B. Padres, Sylvia D. Giants, Sam L. Mariners, Brandon K. Rays, Joseph P. Rangers, Michael G. Blue Jays, Chris F. And Nationals, Stephen K. All right, Joe, let's see where we can find you, buddy. I will see if I can rub it into my fingers. Well, look, both of those games today had great endings. I didn't get to. I saw more of the Bengals game than I did the Green Bay game because I was getting set up for tonight. And I mean, obviously there was a low scoring affair, so I'm not sure how exciting it was, but the ending was great. So, all right, let's get to it. Good luck, everyone. See if we can keep up our hot streak from my last break. All right, 2000 first. Yeah, I'll be interested to see what happens with Rodgers now, what he's going to do. I know a lot of people have have different opinions about him. I mean, I know there's been stuff kind of all year. I haven't followed it close enough to really have an opinion either way, but it seems like he's going to be moving on somewhere. And unless it's the Eagles, I don't really care. Dominguez. All right. Refractor, Kershtat. Nice one there for Baltimore. For John. And Daniel Lynch. So if you haven't been in a Bowman break with me before, we sleeve and top load hits, variations, parallels, all the normal stuff. All first refractors get sleeved and top loaded. Any top chromes, the top guys. And papers of Kershtat and Torkelson also get done. All right, Swaggerty. This is a Garrett Mitchell. And Angels insert. I think he can move on to the retirement home for all you care. Well, maybe he'll be I was saying this in the last break, maybe he'll take that Jeopardy job permanently. He'll be the new host of Jeopardy. People loved him on there. Foscue. Mitchell. Oh, another nice one. Jordan Walker. Very nice for St. Louis. Shane Baz. Ryan Rutherford. Julio Rodriguez. And Dax Fulton to 250 for the Marlins. And, Max Meyer, first Bowman auto. Very nice for the Marlins. What was Max? Number 3rd overall. There you go. 3rd overall, Max Myers for the Marlins. Marty. Nice hit, bud. Who's the kid they have behind him? Behind Rodgers? Jones or what the hell's his name? I have a bunch of his cards. I can't even think of his name. Love, right? Jordan Love, isn't that it? Isn't he like the heir apparent for the quarterback spot? Dan, nice refractor, buddy. The heir apparent. It's basically the same thing they did with Rodgers all those years ago. Had him sit behind Favre for a while and get paid off. Whenever guys do that, whenever they give guys a few years to sit behind a good quarterback, it always pays off. Think of Steve Young behind Montana. It's unfortunate. You'd see these kids like T-Law come up, get thrown into what's obviously a horrible situation down there. That Urban Meyer sounded like he was a jerk, And, how's he supposed to be successful in that? And, of course, he's a number 1 pick, so everybody says, wow, this kid sucks then, But All right, for the Dodgers, Michael Busch, 40 of 250 paper. Yeah, well, I mean, I always kind of figure when they picked Love up, that was the point. They were doing kind of the same thing. So, and it's, I mean, from everything I've heard, it sounds like Rogers is leaving after this year for somewhere. Dodgers is Brett, so I guess he'll start getting a shot. Freeman and Priester on the refractors here. Johnny Valentina. Oh, somebody was asking about Robert Hassel. What do we got here? Is that his? That's a variation, right? Isn't that the variation of his card? Did you use the photo variation? Yep. Yep. Robert Hassel, a photo variation. There you go. Nice one. Who had the Padres? Sylvia. There you go. And Torkelson, glimpses of a greatness. Well, he was trying to get out of there last year, wasn't he? Wasn't there some Rogers? Wasn't he trying to get traded or something last year, or released? Or makes you kind of wonder. You got a quarterback that's pissed off like that, and you're a number one seed and lose in the first round, like you know. Refractors of Haskin and Murphy. Dominguez. And Miami insert. Yeah, you're right, it's missing the auto, but it's better than nothing. You take what you can get sometimes, unfortunately. Maybe we'll find one with an auto too. Patrick Bailey, Casey Martin. All right, Daniel Cabrera and Hayden Cantrell, refractors. Austin Hendrick, Duran, insert, and Nick Gonzalez. Balazovic, Gonzalez, Bobby Witt, Hancock, Walker, Veen, York. All right, refractors of Tucker and Chamberlain. Oh my God, you got to be kidding me. Wow. Class of 2020 Max Meyer to 250, same box. 247 of 250. That's crazy. Marty, wow. 2 Max Meyer autos. Luongo, Hendrick. Is this rigged? Yeah. I packed the boxes myself. Torkelson paper. Refractors of Lee and Vientos. Luongo. And Justin Foscue, 20 and 20. Yeah, I think they got a little ways to go before they get to canceling the season. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't sound like their negotiations are going very well, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know how old all you guys are. I remember the last time they were on strike, and it did so much damage to the game. It took a long time for them to recover. And really, the Sosa McGuire thing is what kind of recovered it in the late 90s, but I don't know. It's hard to feel bad when billionaires fight with millionaires, you know. And I'm not saying they don't have legitimate gripes, but I can't see how they would be dumb enough to really to cancel a season. Like I just all it would do is hurt baseball. C.J. Abrams numbered 265 of 499. Casey Martin and Ronnie Mauricio refractors. Was it Torkelson? Levi Prater Aqua for St. Louis. And Krishtek, Glimpses of Greatness. For Dan. I mean, I suppose anybody, if they have enough money, is willing to. I mean, even back in the 90s when they went on strike, it made a little more sense financially. They weren't quite at the level they're at these days, not even close, you know, I suppose, but I just can't see how they'd be willing to, but I don't know. I guess it's like anything else. If you're not being treated fairly, you're not being treated fairly, but it'd be very, especially after going through what we went through with COVID, you know, the shortened season and no minor league ball and all that just 2 years ago. I mean, it seems like it'd be a really, really dumb idea for them, but who knows? All right, refractors of Reed Detmer and D.L. Hall. Gonzalez. Kent's. Nick Gonzalez, 20 and 20. The amount of money that's made in professional sports these days, how they can't come to agreements is beyond me. Like, there's so much money to go around, it's ridiculous, you know. Like, I remember, and I talked about this before, but when they were signing Bryce Harper here, you know, and he was getting what, 25 million a year or whatever it is, and I was reading this article in the Inquirer, and it was saying like his merch sales alone cover his salary, you know, just on selling jerseys and stuff, you know. There's so much money in professional sports. It's amazing to me they have to get in arguments with each other over it. Refractors, Emerson Hancock and Alvarez. And for Houston, Tyler Brown to 75, 36 of 75. Black refractors. These black refractors are awesome looking. For Jason, No Wongo. Jordan Walker. York. Torkelson. Julio Rodriguez, 320 of 499 for Seattle. For Brandon. They say if the MLB teams gave $1 to every person, they'd still have enough to end hunger and sign the good players. I wouldn't be surprised. It really is. I think professional sports, like money wise, is at such a level. Even as fans, we don't even really comprehend how much money there is there. You know what I mean? Like, okay, yeah, you might if you're one of those type of fans who's into salary caps and all that type of stuff and can figure all those numbers out, it's great. But the amount of money these teams bring in is just, you think they could figure something out. Refractors of Weatherly and Robinson. Max Meyer, Workman, and San Diego insert. It's really, if you think, like, it's really tough for the guys who've been coming up the last few years. The minor leaguers and this and that who are supposed to be rookies or should have been rookies. Like, you missed no minor league 2 years ago, shortened season, now possibility of not having another season. Like, it's not easy. Refractors of Phillips and Parker. Foscue. Oswald Peraza for the Yankees, Aqua. And the Miami insert. I don't understand how Max Scherzer can say pay the young players more than sign for what he did, which is like half a team salary. Yeah. Well, and the the sad part in the end, and again, look, if you play at that level, meaning I'm not talking about baseball, I'm talking about money wise. If you're in that kind of level of money, that it's not a big deal to them. The millions that they get paid are like you or I making 75 or 50 grand a year or whatever you make, So I think they get really out of touch in that way, I don't think they're naive enough to not understand that they're wealthy, these players and the owners, but hundreds of thousands and millions are thrown around like it's nothing. And now there's a possibility that you're going to deny, fans a season over. And I know money's not the only issue on the table. There's other things too, but ultimately people are just going to resent the hell out of you for that. That's what it's going to come down to. A lot of people are going to be angry if because they can't fathom that kind of money, and unfortunately, and you play a kid's game, to make it. Believe me, I wish I did too, but. Yeah, Josh, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, you're right. They think $1 million is like $10. It's nothing to them. It really isn't. And I can understand how you get that way, but they need to think on a different level, because maybe some things do have to change. I'm not saying that, but to deny people a season over some of these things, I don't know. I think there'll be a lot of backlash to it. Matos. Torkelson, Invicta. Andrew Painter, Genesis. Vires and Gasser refractors. Let me piles here. Because honestly, there was, I mean, again, for anybody maybe younger or don't remember it, but in the 90s when they went on strike, there was a lot of backlash over that. People were really angry. And it took until the late 90s, the home run thing to really kind of turn the country back onto baseball fully. I'm not saying there wasn't still a lot of people around that loved baseball. Of course there were, but they're lucky that came along, And I mean, in hindsight, as far as the whole, like steroid thing went back then, that's why a lot of people think they allowed that stuff to go on because it got people back to watching the game, Have the whole steroid era there. Jackson Jobe and, oh, wow. Colton Cowser, first Bowman auto for the Orioles. Monster hit. Very nice. John, there you go, buddy. Nice one. Yeah. You and John, you and a lot of people, I think. I mean, honestly, that's back. I was working a lot back then. That was, I was working 18 hours a day, 7 days a week in the restaurants and stuff. So I wasn't putting a ton of energy and time into watching it anyway. But it was not something that, I kind of thought the same way of it. I loved baseball, but I didn't go out of my way, for any of it because I was angry after that. Yeah, well, that's that's the other thing too. There are alternatives, I mean, okay, maybe the Japanese league is or isn't as good. I mean, they certainly have a ton of talent over there, and they're a ton of fun, the games and this and that, whatever. But like there are other places to turn for this entertainment, and people will if you upset them enough, Oh, it's so funny you bring that up. My son is going to try out. My son is half Filipino, and he's going to try out for the Filipino national team. He got invited. He's so excited about it. Marcelo Meyer Bowman draft night, and we're still trying to figure out. I think we have to go out to California for it, but it's my son's like super excited. I just thought about when you said about Japanese League baseball. At least you can watch your team on TV. What do you mean, Chris? Oh, you mean if you watch overseas? Well, nowadays there's some place to watch everything. Who knows? I might be watching Filipino baseball soon. Carson Williams. And Jose Torres to 250 for the Reds. Look, I mean, the money thing is, is in everything. The haves and the have-nots, the one percenters, or whatever you want to call them. And look, I begrudge nobody. I don't begrudge success of anyone. I mean, if it's there to be gotten, take it. But when your success is directly tied to fans, you have to take those fans into consideration. Ottenbright, first Aqua for the Phillies. Cowser, Genesis, Solace, and Ibarra refractors. Like that's the thing. Like, if you're a manufacturer and your money is tied to a factory, you need to take care of your factory and take care of your employees and take care of this. And it's certainly not that, Major League Baseball run out of money anytime soon, but if a large portion of that money is contingent upon the people who enjoy your game, then I think you got to take that into consideration some rather than just going, forget it, we're not playing. And I understand that maybe that sounds ridiculous because that's the whole point of a strike, but if it was a bunch of guys out there playing who made $25 an hour, I think we'd all think a lot differently about it. But the kid sitting on the bench is making $800K a year. It's a little hard to have a tear running down your face for that guy when you're out, hauling bricks. Bednar, Mazzucato, Freilich, refractors of Merrill and Abbott. One second. Oh, I'll send you one, John. My son is psyched, man. He's totally psyched. I mean, my son's nationally ranked on Max Preps and Perfect Game and all that stuff, and he takes a lot of pride in his heritage, his Filipino heritage. And when they reached out, he was he was so excited. So it'd be fun. At worst, it'll be fun just to go and do it. We'll see. Calzer and Bonacy. Okay. Pomeroy, Devereaux, Martinez. There's a Lawler first. Murphy, and for the Brew Crew, Alex Binalias to 250. Nice one there for Matthew. There you go, buddy. He would be psyched. I guess what they're doing is they're trying to put together teams at multiple levels for Williams, Peguero, and Rushman. With the World Baseball Classic coming up in 23, like the Goodwill games, I think they want to play, like they're trying to put together 14, I think a 15U, a 17U, 18U, and then a collegiate national team. So, Mayor paper. It certainly wouldn't hurt him to play too, if you got that chance. No, it's not huge. It's honestly, I mean, basketball is the big sport over there. And my son, I mean, we live in Philadelphia. My son's, he's half Filipino, so his athletic ability gets from like my father and my sister. I mean, I was okay, but my father and my sister were both like Division I athletes and stuff like that. So, and he's a pretty amazing shortstop. But no, in general, is baseball big there? Not really. They're trying to. Reed Trimbled in '99. I think, and from what I understand, all through the South Pacific, they're really trying to. Australia now has some sort of professional league that they've had for a few years, and it's getting bigger there. And I think just in that part of the world, they're trying to push it more. Baltimore's John. So I guess just another step. But like I said, he's Henry Davis. He's very proud of that part of his heritage. So I think he'd like to just try and be involved in it in some way. Detroit and refractors of Cooper Kinney and Lonnie White Jr. But they do have, but see, that's the thing. They do have a lot of players here in the States, who are like my son, who are half Filipino, and, that qualifies. So. I think it'll just be cool to go check it out, Lawler. My son and his team are very worried about the next 2 years. They are definitely in a situation to. Well, it's not uncommon from what I know that many of the guys out of the Caribbean do lie about their age. In fact, they've like, and there's a lot of guys in major leagues, especially what's his name, Pujols. They've talked about. A lot of people think Pujols is like 48 years old now or something like that. You know, it's been talked about a lot that a lot of these guys have lied about their age over the years. But hey, if they can still play the game, who cares, right? Harold Vera to 199 for the Angels. The old Aqua Lava. These cards are very cool looking. Angels is Ryan. The Dominican program down there is crazy. We were down there a couple of years ago at the Dominican Prospect League doing some workouts and stuff, and it's the whole setup down there is just insane. We're going to the Dominican Republic in like 4 weeks, but we're just going for vacation. I'm not going anywhere near there again. Mitchell and Alvarez. But yeah, no, dude, you think about it. I mean, the entire Dominican Republic has, I don't know, 6 million people or something, and they've got like 50 guys in Major League Baseball. That's insane. You talk about just being born great baseball players. Like, there's so many guys from the Dominican Republic who are in professional baseball, and there's a very small island, Whereas that's like saying, Philadelphia has what, like 5 million people. That's like saying like 50 players would come from this area is the same as, who comes from Dominican. That's pretty crazy. But they start them young too, man. They get a hold of them very young down there. Pujols is definitely older than he says. Zarno Norby. All right. Morissette and Gavin Williams refractors. Well, and a lot of those guys, especially coming out of like Cuba and stuff, like they don't have any, they don't have anything to prove one way or the other, who or age or any of those things. You know what I mean? Anyway, so you just got to kind of take them at face value. If a guy comes out of the DR or comes out of Cuba and he's 25, but he tells everyone he's 21 years old, as long as he can still play. Because, there is that thing where, when you look at minor league players and you see like a guy doing well in the minors, but he's like 25 or 26, and you're like, well, he's kind of on the old side to be coming up and doing well now, But if they're 25, 26 and they're really, really good and they everybody thinks they're 21, then it's kind of a smart move if you think about it. Tampa Bay, Heriberto Hernandez. Numbered 346 of 499. Yeah, before they learn to talk, you're right. It's crazy. Being around my son and his ability, he's a very good ball player, and I don't know where it will or won't take him, and that's not really our concern, to be honest. Whatever happens, happens. But Brian Bluvas to 99. 39 of 99, Brian Bluvas. And our next auto, another number 7 overall, Frank Mazzucato for Kansas City. Nice one. For Alex. Kansas City. But it's interesting to see over time, especially like in the years of watching my son with travel ball, and man, we used to crisscross the country in the summers a few years ago before the pandemic hit. On these travel teams and these national teams and this and that and whatever, and like A lot of these kids, they're Matos and Hernandez refractors are pushed so hard, especially the kids from like Florida, Arizona, Texas, and California, because they have that all year round weather and stuff, And I tell you, a lot of times I'm happy that I grew up here. You need a break sometimes. These kids are 16 years old getting Tommy John surgery. It's nuts. you know. Henry Davis paper, because they've blown their arm out. You know what I mean? They play so much. It's like insane. And it's funny. I saw a thing. Mike Musina was on the draft a few years ago, and he coaches out in Western Pennsylvania at a high school in like out around the Pittsburgh area. And he was talking about exactly that, how there, more and more kids, more and more guys, and I don't want to say kids, but guys are coming from like the Northeast into Major League Baseball, where nobody used to come from up here, Black, Urbina, Sam Bachman, Genesis, Jay Allen, and Bubba Chamberlain refractors. But now they're, more and more they like to look towards this area because they play multi-sports. You know what I mean? The guy plays baseball and basketball and this and that. And and it's not just like he's pitching, every day, 12 months out of the year and actually getting worn out before he ever gets to any legitimate level, And there are times, a lot of times, like my son, where I'm just like, all right, it's time for a break. Take a month off. Don't touch anything, Gets to be too much on some of these kids. All right, let's see. Painter, Torkelson, Williams, and Cameron Cawley for Texas. Aqua. And Soderstrom and Martin refractors. All right. Guys, I want to thank everyone for joining me this evening. As always, oh man, camera slam. Sorry about that. As usual, I couldn't do this without you guys. We are going to be back tomorrow night with some absolute football and super jumbo of the draft. Give me a second here. We'll put a quick hit recap together. If you can't join us, understandable, but please stay safe, stay healthy out there. And give me a minute. We'll get the hit recap together. Righty. All right. Here. Do. All right, guys, we are doing a hit recap for 2020-2021 Bowman Draft. 2 jumbo box break, number 16. Okay, so these are all refractors here. I'm not going to go through all of them, obviously. We're going to sleeve and top load all the firsts and any other big names that might be in there. We do have a few first chromes, and we'll double check when we go through all the cards. We'll make sure they get sleeved and top loaded too at top, guys. Some we already pulled and did, but let's see here. So Mayer Paper, Davis Chrome, Kerstedt Refractor, Jordan Walker Refractor, the Robert Hassel Image Variation, Torkelson Paper and Torkelson Chrome, Kerstedt Paper and another Torkelson Paper, Henry Davis Paper. To $4.99 paper, C.J. Abrams, Rodriguez, Heriberto Hernandez, Jose Torres to $2.50, Michael Bush to $2.50, Reed Trimble to $99. Aquas, not numbered, Prater, Peraza, Cawley, Otenbright, to $1.99 Errol Vera, and to $99 Brian Bluvas. Dax Fulton to $2.50. And then autographs, number 3 overall, Max Meyer. Actually had 2. That's right, he had the first and class of 2020. Number 7 overall this year, Frank Mazzucato for Kansas City. Number, what was he, 5? 5th overall pick, Colton Cowser for the Orioles. Very nice one there. And then to $2.50, Alex Beinless and Tyler Brown to $75 for Houston. Guys, again, thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate it. Like I said, we'll be back tomorrow night if you want to come and hang out. Otherwise, please stay safe, stay healthy, hit that like and subscribe, and have a great night. Take care. Bye.